Hi, my name is Jenny Eichhorn. I am with Cal Poly's Theater and New Dance Department's publicity crew, and today I am with one of the actors from the student-written play called 2020.
Hi, I'm Kimberly. I'm a senior at Cal Poly Pomona, and I am a theater major with an acting option. And I am graduating this spring with my bachelor's, so I'm excited. And yeah, this is actually the first show I've been in at Cal Poly, and I play. I'm in two scenes. I play Professor Staten in The Odd Man Out, and I play Franny in There Is No Again. And then I'm also in a couple monologues. One monologue, I play a college student where she kind of sees the upsides of quarantine. And then the other one, I play a high school student, a high school senior who's really upset about the pandemic and missing out on senior activities and graduation and seeing her friends and stuff like that. So it was pretty crazy, but also pretty great to be able to play all those different diverse types of characters. So that was a lot of fun.
So, what was the rehearsal/filming process like for you?
So basically how it worked, the first couple weeks, the whole cast met up on Zoom and we just did all kinds of table work. We just read through the play and Bernardo just gave us different ideas of different scenes and monologues that we could try and pursue, like with our acting style. And yeah, so the first couple of weeks was mostly just that. And then they started scheduling it where they would only call certain people to rehearse certain scenes or monologues. We it was actually really fast paced. I think just after like the first 3 weeks, we had to start recording our monologues, and we did those on our own, which I thought was gonna be harder, but it actually wasn't, surprisingly. I just ended up using my laptop on my own and somehow got the lighting right on my own and just did it. And yeah, the only hard part was taking all those different takes. Like if I didn't like a certain take, I would just do it over and over and over again because I wanted it to be perfect. So, yeah, it was fun, and it just kind of sucked not being able to do it in person as usual, but we were able to make it work, which was great.
That's awesome. And how did you prepare for this role or roles? Because you play a lot of different people.
Yeah. Um, well, like for the high school student, the high school senior, I kind of channeled my little sister because she went through that last year. She was the infamous class of 2020 and I felt so bad for her. She didn't have a prom, no real graduation, no senior activities, no senior trip. And I felt so bad for her. So I kind of channeled that energy into my character for that monologue. So it definitely worked out. But yeah. And then for I think the one of the harder ones was Franny, because in There Is No Again, because she's basically the complete opposite of like my whole mindset and my beliefs. So I had to really like deep dive and think about the other side and their mindset and why they think the way they think and why maybe they or how they grew up or maybe the environment they grew up in to make them think, have those certain thoughts and beliefs that are completely different from my own. So I just kind of like I thought about that and I channeled that energy into that character. And I was like, what is like the exact opposite of my beliefs and my political beliefs? And just channeled all that energy into that person. And yeah, it was kind of the same thing with the professor. Um, I just because it's supposed to be an older character, so I had to think about like, older woman in her 30s, maybe grew up, in a different environment than mine and probably, thought certain things and certain things that you can say to someone are okay because maybe it was okay when she was growing up, but things change and it's a whole different like dynamic now. So I think it was just kind of crazy to like, get in the mindset of like kind of old school thinking. So it's kind of crazy to be in the mindset of those characters and think about the other side, even as much as I don't agree with it, it was still interesting and fun to play out. Sometimes it's fun playing, asshole characters.
Definitely. And then you mentioned this a little bit, but were there any challenges with this process, either with technology or the work in general?
Yes. One challenge technology wise was I couldn't get my mic to work for the longest time. Uh I'm sure you had to deal with that with Zorro, where you guys had to have the mics and record and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, I had the biggest issue with that. Like John can tell you. John and Jorge can tell you. Like I met with him, I don't know how many times to try and get my mic to work. Like I didn't have the right adapter for my laptop at first, and then I needed like batteries for the microphone, and like somehow the sound wouldn't work or go through. Like that was probably the biggest struggle technology wise, but we're able to get it done, thank God. I had to constantly go to the school and pick new stuff up to get my microphone to work. I'm like, it finally works. And I think a lot of other people in the cast can relate. Like, some of the technology issues were very much there. And then also, like, whenever we were rehearsing or trying to record a scene, like, if my internet was being a brat and freezing on me, like, that was annoying. And I guess another one would be, I guess, trying to get like my lines and cues down for like the there is no again scene, because it's literally just me and Oscar in that scene. We have no other characters. It's just me and him talking back and forth. So sometimes like that can be a challenge if you're in a longer scene and you got to be on top of your cues and your lines because it's just you two. But yeah, other than that, but it was still a really fun experience and I learned a lot. So
That's great. And did you have any favorite moments from either the show or rehearsals?
um I guess some would be when me and Oscar would work together, when we would work with each other, either like with Bernardo or on our own with There Is No Again, and just helping each other out and working one on one on our lines and our cues and everything. That was sometimes he and I just were able to talk and chat for a bit, and it was kind of a stress reliever. And I liked recording the monologues on my own too. I thought that was kind of fun. I got to be my own director for a little bit. As well as, Bernardo's directorial notes. Like, I got to kind of like, direct myself and make sure I was doing everything right. So that was fun as well.
Awesome. And then the last question is there anything you would like the audience to know before seeing the show or taking or something that they should take away from watching 2020?
Um, I think that, I hope people really obviously, it has to do a lot with Black Lives Matter and the pandemic, and also like they talk about the environment and global warming. I really hope people take those things into account and take it more seriously. I know it's all over the news and people hear about it all the time, but some people just are really set in their own little bubbles and don't want to like believe what's really going on in the real world. And so I hope when people watch this show, it helps them open their eyes a little bit more. Because even though they're fictionalized stories, they're based on things that actually are happening in the world. So I hope people can take away from that and learn from it.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And if you have not gotten your tickets for 2020 yet, go to Cal Poly Pomona's Theater and New Dance website to get your tickets. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.